What's good, good
What
people?
up?
Welcome back to episode 4 of the Married Life Podcast. What it do? What it do, babe?
What it do?
Look, man, I'm FL, one of your co-hosts. This is my boo thing, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself because she always say I introduce her as my boo thing. Hey, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name, babe?
Chandra.
Say it again.
Chandra.
She always say it like that. What's good, good people? This is the Married Life Podcast, episode 4, man. Listen, if you haven't watched those other 2 or 3 episodes, go check it out. This is the latest episode right here. We just gonna pick up from episode 2.
Yes.
We're gonna finish telling our story, right? Because we got a real good one for you next week, but we'll let you know more about that at the end. So where did we leave off in episode 2, babe? We just gonna jump right in. Episode 2, we was already married. We just had got married. So I'm gonna start it, right?
Yeah,
we just had got married, right?
Because I think the last thing we talked about was our first anniversary or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Our first anniversary that I forgot. You remember that? Had the wrong date.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, man. So yeah, so now we at the point that we got married. If you need to get caught up on the story, like I said, go watch those first 2 episodes. This 4th episode is gonna go with those first 2. So now we're married. We're young in our early 20s. Yes. I'm what, 21 or 20? No, you was 20.
I was 21.
Yeah, and
20.
I was 20.
Yeah.
I told you she was cool for good people. She a cool. Yeah. So now we early stages of marriage, man. You know, we got our first little apartment. You remember that apartment we had?
Yeah.
Man, we had no furniture.
We had a bed.
That's all.
A bed and dresser.
A bed.
Yes, that's all we needed. That's the first year.
That's all we need. I had my baby. We was in love,
we didn't need
baby.
To sit on nothing but the bed.
Yeah. So you do remember that? Man. That was our very first apartment we had, man, and that's when we kind of went through the early parts of remember taking one plate down, squeezing the toothpaste. I think we kind of touched on that on the last episode. So that's when all that kind of happened, right? Yes. When I was calling my mama and she was like, "Call your mom." I'm like, "What? What?" I remember when you said that time. I was like, "I'm gonna call mom," and she was like, "Call your mom."
Call her.
What? What? Cuz you don't know me like that, boy. Yeah, but guess what I did? I called my mom. Because like I said in the last episode, she was very influential in our life. Yes. So now, yeah, man. So now we married. You working at what? Print Incorporated?
Yes.
That's before you got your accounting degree though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I just had an associate's degree from college.
Yeah. So she had a little job. I was working at Bank, Oklahoma. That was one of my first jobs. Like I told you in my live podcast or episode that I done, I've only had 2 jobs my whole life, good people. In Bank, Oklahoma, that was my first job. Started off in the mail room, pushing that little mail buggy like Chris. Oh man, what's his name? Chris Rock on God, what's the movie? Boomerang.
Oh yeah,
Boomerang. He was in the mail.
I didn't know what movie you were.
Marcus.
That was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So shout out to BOK, man. That was one of my first jobs I had. As a mail clerk, and then I worked my way up to investment ops. So shout out to BOK. You was at Print Incorporated. So at this time in our marriage, man, what would you say? We was just really just new and young, right? New and young. Didn't know nothing, just Yeah. So how would you describe those first 5 years though? In your own words, like looking back on it now, so we can help the people, man. You know, like in the first 5 years, did marriage, how do I want to ask this? Was marriage what you thought it was? You know, because we all have an idea of what it was and what it's going to be. In the first 5 years, would you say it was what you thought it was?
Well, okay. I got to preface this. How do you say
preference? Yeah.
By saying, I really never see myself married. Like,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, so when you say, was it what I thought it was? I didn't have an expectation per se because like I didn't really think about marriage when I was younger. I wasn't like, "Ooh, I gotta get married." I just didn't. So
and I was. That's weird.
Yeah,
I was.
Listen, we joke about this, but we're the opposite.
I always say she like dude.
I'm
like when we go out to eat, she be pulling me close to her. And I be like, damn, babe.
Get over here with me.
Yeah, she be pulling me close to her. I'm like, damn, man, you got a little dude tendencies over.
I do.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Anyway, so I really didn't. I didn't have an expectation, so it was just I was just moving along in life. Like I wasn't expecting anything in particular. I don't feel disappointed by the first 5 years or anything. I mean, and then again, I don't remember.
She's like, I can hardly remember.
I don't remember what I ate last week. So.
Oh, well, but that's good though. I mean, said,
it wasn't like a good or bad thing. I just felt like I was kind of just moving through life.
Yeah. See, and like I said, good people, I've always been an intentional person. I mean, ever since I've been younger, I've always kind of had a plan, what I wanted. I knew I would be married, right? I used to always think about the type of marriage I want. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna get in the church. Because I was raised on that, but that's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna get off topic on that.
That'll definitely take us down.
Yeah, take it. But listen, I knew that because I saw it. My mom and dad was married 14, 15 years, something like that. So I don't know. It was just weird for me. Now I'm looking back on it. If I can coin it, I just always felt like I wanted to be married. Like from a young age, I've always felt like that. And so here I am, 26 plus years later. So
your dream came true.
Woo! Woo!
You got what you want, but did you get what you want?
No, you got what you want, but do you want what you got? Yeah, I wanted what I got. I wanted what I got because that's why I got it. Like I said, I've always been intentional. Now, the first 5 years,
I don't remember.
To ask me that question, did it go? I'm like you. I didn't really have no expectation of the first 5 years. I mean, I'm married. I felt like, number one, I knew I wanted to do that. But number two, I felt like that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Coming up, how we was raised, it's almost like, get older, settle down or whatever. But I always wanted to do it. So it wasn't really the second that was driving it, right? So yeah, the first 5 years was just me a lot of times calling my mama. Hello, mama, pick up the phone. Because like I said, she was a counselor. So not only did she do that for the school systems and different things like that, and not only was she my mom, I linked on her in those first 5 years because I didn't know nothing about marriage, man. I didn't know. Like I said, I was taking down one plate, squeezing the toothpaste. I mean, it was all type of stuff in the beginning. But I will say it was fun though. I don't have any bad memories in the first 5, 10, 15, all the way up to now. Like I said, I can only think of one time that we was really about to split, and that was just over a misunderstanding about perspectives about something. But like I said, that's a whole nother video because we can really. Because she don't even remember. That's why I ain't even gonna get into it. I have no idea. I ain't even gonna get it. I see that face. She don't even. So yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah, he's going to remind me what happened.
But that's good because that lets you know we really haven't really, marriage is just two people blending, man. So after we did that in the early stages, we built our first house.
Yeah,
that's right after the apartment for
6 months.
6 months,
and then we
built our first house, man. We built our first house out in Choctaw, America, Choctaw, Oklahoma, man. Okay. First house, man. Paid $89,500 for it. You remember that?
For a 1,500 square foot house.
For a 1,500 square foot home. That's how old we are, good people.
Our payment was only $700 a month.
Yeah, $700 a month, man.
And if we would have been living in the house now, it would have been paid for.
Yeah, it would have been paid for. That's a whole other video too. The financial mistakes we made. We don't talk about all that in married life, but that's a whole nother video. So we built that house. We did that. That was our first house that we built. She was working at Print Incorporated. I was doing Bank Oklahoma. Yes. But then this is where our life kind of shifted, right? When we quit our jobs.
Oh yeah.
The second time. The first time.
That's a whole
other story too. We don't even want to get into that right now.
If you want to give a small detail of it,
yeah,
you don't have to go into.
Okay. Listen,
because that would be like a whole nother video.
It is because listen,
That's
I'm gonna give a small little snippet because it really goes with the podcast for next week when we're talking about religious programming.
Right.
So basically, I thought God had called me to quit my job. You know, called me to quit my job, and so do it again. So so back then we was God called us to quit our job with whatever. So we quit.
Yeah,
both of us. After just buying a brand new home, we quit. Okay, so so I'm getting there, but this is the funny part. This is the funny part of the story. That's what I'm getting to. So after see that couple months in,
I remember this. I remember what he says right here.
We had got behind on our house payment. We was like, what, 2 months behind? It was almost going to foreclosure. Because mind you, when we quit,
we
other money.
Had no
plan. Just God told us to quit.
It was like,
God told us to do it.
I don't remember what year it was, but
we
didn't have no savings.
No savings.
We were not prepared for what we just did.
Was not prepared at all. Just bought a house, and all I knew, God said quit, and we did it, and so the bills start stacking up. Start stacking up. Mm-hmm. So bill collector called. Right? I'll never forget this moment, man. I'm calm. I'm peaceful. I pick up the phone because I'm not ducking nobody at this time. I'm like, God said it. It's just so I'm not ducking. So I pick up the phone. He's telling me, oh, your sister. I said, look, man, God, I just told him the story. God called us to come off our job, blah, blah. He sat there and listened to my whole story. Silent. He didn't say nothing. And at the end of the and everybody know this conversation. At the end of the conversation, he said, sir, we didn't loan God the money. We loaned you. Man, I came. Boy, I started to come through that for you. I went
lose all your religion.
I lost all piece of Holy Ghost, as they say, at that moment. You mother. What you mean you didn't give God the money? But that's a true story. You remember that, huh?
That I remember.
We're going to be talking about more of that on the next episode. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened, man. We quit our job first time. Second time we quit, though, we really quit it to go into business. That's when we started our first business on our own, our commercial cleaning company.
You quit before I did.
Yeah, I did. And that was when we built our second house. Yeah, that was doing our second house.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was our first house. We did all that. Then we ended up selling that house, building another house, a bigger house out in Choctaw. And then the second time God called us of my job, I quit. But it was to start our own business, though. So we had a plan. We had a plan. Say it again.
We had a plan, and I was still working.
Yeah, she was still working. But say the first part again.
We had a plan.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
Plan.
And that's why I've only had 2 jobs my whole life. Good people, we really had a plan that time.
Yeah.
When it was still scary. Don't get it wrong. It was still scary because I left for $4 raise. Remember they was trying to give me a $4 raise at my job.
Yeah.
I said, nah. I think I can do more on my own. That's why I made my product. Yeah, that's why I keep telling y'all about my product, my 6-part audio series, Use It or Lose It. Yeah. Click that link, go get it. Because I've been living on me. That was the moment I really made a decision. Remember that? Yeah. We talked about it. It was scary because we was young, but I just felt like I had to do it.
And we didn't have kids. It was just us.
Yeah, no kids. Yeah. And that was you know how you look back on moments? That was a pivotal moment in our marriage because that really set the trajectory for the rest of our life because like I said, I mean, you had the job at Print Incorporated. When we started our cleaning business, you didn't, that's all we did. That was about.
Well, I mean, I had before we got married, I'd had other jobs.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about after we got married.
Yeah.
Printing Incorporated. Listen, I don't care about before we got married. I wasn't in the picture then. I'm talking about now. See this? Man, this is my boo thing, y'all. This is my boo thing. But yeah,
he been used to these faces that I made for I don't know how long now.
Mine too. You see mine? I'll be like, yeah. But anyway, so there. I would say our cleaning business really changed our life, man.
Oh yeah.
That was the moment that I really walked away and really betted on us, and it's paid off. You know, we had ups and downs. I ain't gonna lie, we had ups and downs, financial struggles, all that. Right. But it's not because we wasn't making money. We always talk about that. It's because our financial decisions.
We did not know what to do.
Yeah. See, some of y'all out there right now, some of y'all couples out there, y'all making the money, but y'all just don't have a real plan, a real financial plan to make those decisions. So yeah, so after the cleaning business, we had that for what, 17 years?
I think so.
But I started close to that.
Yeah.
And
15
when we
maybe.
Yeah. And when we built our second house is when I got into life coaching before our oldest was born. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I tell that story all the time. Sitting in my game room, my mom was over there. We kind of got into it. Well, not me and her got into it. I'm saying we got into the conversation, and that's when I kind of got into life coaching.
Right.
But that's just the backdrop to go with the first 2 episodes up to date. Now we probably left off some stuff.
I mean, we had kids.
Yeah, kids up to that. But yeah, like I said,
we honestly, when we got married, neither one of us like, I don't want kids. We did not want children when we first got married for 13 years.
13 years.
We were married 13 years before we had our first child.
So our businesses was already established. We had already connected, kind of found our rhythm as a couple.
Right.
And then we start bringing kids into the side note. We tell couples this all the time. Now, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, but we always say, it's kind of harder when you're starting off in the beginning. I can't even imagine me and her being married the first 2 years and having kids. I can't. I just can't. People do it.
Some people are prepared for it.
Some people are prepared for it. But just for us, we always tell couples, I mean, if that's not something you really want to do right out the gate, you might want to wait till you get established. You might want to wait till you get your income more established, till you guys get more established and get your rhythm together. Because kids are a blessing. Don't get it wrong. They're fun, all that. But you better have a plan. Right. You better know what you're doing when them babies come. That's all I'm telling you. And I'm not talking about a plan on how to raise them because ain't no manual for that. No. I just mean like you better be locked in your relationship when those babies come because they don't intentionally create space between you.
It's a difference.
It's just a difference, yeah. And if you're not careful, you guys will grow apart, And so those are just some of the nuances that we had to navigate the early part of our, marriage, how we met, all that good stuff. And now up to date, we're still navigating because we got to get up through there. Yeah, so we still navigate, kids, businesses, man, us growing on the individual level. Like I always tell her, and like we always say, your individuality is needed.
Yeah, but I do feel like, kind of going back to our first part of our marriage, like we didn't realize how important that was.
Oh no, man!
We thought we had to be like this the whole. It's like we couldn't do our own thing almost. Like we felt like we had to do everything together.
That's real. And that's without getting too deep into that, because that goes into that religious programming that we're gonna be talking about on episode 5. So y'all gonna make sure y'all want to tune in next week. We really gonna be talking about it. But she right. I felt the two shall become one. Right. The way it was always taught to us in the church, basically in an indirect way, like you couldn't do anything without your wife.
Right.
Now they didn't necessarily say that, but in the indirect way, that was what was being spoken or the message across the pulpits that I was in the church. Right. And then also that the man had the final say. Right. Oh man, we really gonna get into that next week. Oh, see that look? See that look? But I've always talked to my wife, and I told my wife this. We've always had a conversation.
Very open.
And the only reason why I felt like I had the final say because I felt like I didn't want to be judged by God. Right? Now that I understand that's really not a real thing, but me and her had that conversation on why I really thought that way. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna be judged for it, then I need to pull the trigger. I hear what you're saying, but if I'm gonna be held accountable, but none of that is true. We had to navigate through all that. So yeah, man, we just wanted to get y'all caught up. We about to sign off the Married Life Podcast, episode 4. Make sure you join us next week. I'm telling y'all, we gonna get deep in that religious subconscious programming and how we had to go away and build a faith that made sense for us. That really made sense for us. Not what they told us, right? Not what they told us it should be. All of that stuff, you ain't gonna want to miss next week's episode. You got something else to say, babe? What else you got to say? What else you got to say? That's it. Listen, until next time, good people. Same bad channel, same bad time. The Married Life Podcast, baby. I'm FL, your life coach.
Chandra.
I want to call her my boo thing though. Until next week, baby, make sure you tune in. We out. Married Life Podcast, baby.